Hey, welcome to another episode of geekoutdoors.com. So after having used Linux as a desktop operating system for so many years, I've actually come up with my top 3 reasons why Linux matters, why it matters in the past, why it matters now, and why it'll matter in the foreseeable future. And these are the 3 things that I think is common for pretty much anybody who decides to use this desktop operating system. And so the first reason is cost. Because of the simple fact that pretty much all the major Linux distributions or versions of the operating system, they come at a cost of free. So no matter if it's something like Linux Mint, which is what I use, Ubuntu, oldies like OpenSUSE, Fedora, Kali Linux, Manjaro, MX Linux, or the many hundreds of other Linux distributions out there, you don't have to pay a single penny, which is pretty amazing considering what you are getting. The second thing is privacy. Now, as we all know in our internet age, our data is constantly being collected in so many different areas, but the one area that probably gets the most data from you is the operating system that you are using. Now, this is not only limited to our desktop operating systems, but also our mobile device operating systems like our Android OS, iOS, or any of our smart devices. They're all collecting some type of data. And Linux as a desktop operating system, it definitely collects data as well. But the way in which it is used, I think it's way more limited than any of these other operating systems. And the simple fact that you have a lot more control over what you decide to share and what you decide to use. That makes a really huge difference, which leads me to the number one reason why Linux matters, and that is freedom. This is something that you simply will not get in any other operating system. I have been a Windows user for a long time. I've used Apple Mac OS, and of course I use Linux as a desktop operating system, and there's simply no operating system that gives you so much freedom. Even when you think of other open source operating systems like Android, more and more that's becoming less and less of a freedom-based operating system. Whereas in the pure Linux desktop operating systems, you still have a lot of control. Now, I will say depending on which distribution you have, your level of freedom could be limited, I would say, in some cases. But for the majority of people who use their operating system every day, I really feel that Linux as a desktop operating system really has no equal when it comes to freedom, because you could do it however you want. You could change things however you want. And if you really want to get serious, you could go all the way down to all the coding, the brains of the operating system and change it to suit your needs, which is something I wish all operating systems allowed you to do. But that's not the case. And that's why I am so happy that we do have Linux as an operating system for us to use. So those are my top 3 reasons why I feel Linux matters. And I really feel that these 3 reasons are going to be reasons that years later people will still say, yeah, these are still important. And they still are why people keep moving over to Linux, or at least using it as an alternative versus other mainstream operating systems. So if you had any thoughts on any of these reasons that I talked about today, or maybe you had your own reasons as a Linux operating system user, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get value out of these videos, share, like, and subscribe. Hey geeks, if you are a creative geek like me and you wanted to learn how to create content on YouTube and other places on the internet, then check out my Gold Content Creators Group, where you'll get access to 30 videos plus additional content for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part of it is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Gold Content Creators Group. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.